Namaskar and welcome to IIPA. I'm Rakhi. Once again, we have a very, very special guest now in the studio, as we have, because we talk to them about their experiences, take insights from them, some perspectives around public administration and policies since we are at IIPA, and that's how the conversation has gone. So once again, we welcome here Mr. Rajiv Nayan Choubey. He's the former member of UPSC and of course an administrative officer and IAS of repute, eminence and experience. Sir, welcome to this studio.
Thank you very much.
So IIPA की अगर हम बात करें तो आज यहाँ पर पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इन इंडिया, इस किताब का भी यहाँ पे आज लॉन्च हुआ है, ये आप देख सकते हैं। और इसमें ही विशिष्ट अतिथि, मुख्य अतिथि रहे राजीव नयन चौबे जी। उनसे ही बातचीत करेंगे कि किस तरह से पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जो है इस वक्त अगर आप देखें सर, तो किस तरह से उभर कर सामने आया है।
थैंक यू वेरी मच। सबसे पहले तो मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि IIPA ने जो एक अपने लिए अपना स्थान बनाया है पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के फील्ड में, वो सचमुच सराहनीय है। ये बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है। इसकी अपनी एक ब्रांड वैल्यू है, अपना इसका एक रिकग्निशन है। इसलिए IIPA अगर किसी चीज़ पर कोई बात कहता है, कोई पब्लिकेशन करता है, तो उसकी अहमियत होती है। तो इस चीज़ के लिए मैं IIPA के डायरेक्टर जनरल मिस्टर त्रिपाठी जी को मैं साधुवाद दूंगा। यहाँ की जो फैकल्टी है, बहुत अच्छी फैकल्टी है, उनको मैं बधाई दूंगा कि आपने IIPA के ब्रांड वैल्यू को बनाया है, बढ़ाया है, तो मैं उसकी बधाई देता हूँ। और जैसा IIPA के नाम में ही कोर वर्क जो है, मुख्य काम आपका पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से संबंधित है। तो अभी ये जो किताब आज रिलीज़ हुई है, ये इस किताब के पीछे बहुत लोगों की मेहनत है। और मैं जब इस किताब को पढ़ रहा था, तो चूँकि पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के फील्ड मेरा करियर रहा है, मैं ये कह सकता हूँ कि ये किताब न केवल जो पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के नए विद्यार्थी हैं उनके लिए एक महत्वपूर्ण किताब है, बल्कि जो पॉलिसी मेकर्स हैं, जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के फील्ड में ऑलरेडी काम कर रहे हैं, उनके लिए भी एक बहुत बढ़िया ये रेफरेंस बुक है। सो दिस इज़ नॉट ओनली अ टेक्स्ट बुक, दिस इज़ ऑल्सो अ रेफरेंस बुक। एंड वंस अगेन माय कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स टू ऑल द ऑथर्स हु हैव कंट्रीब्यूटेड, 19 ऑथर्स, and a very nice compilation. My compliments to authors and to IIPA for this.
So a lot of UPSC aspirants or watchers are also going to watch this interview. What would be those highlights that you'd like to put your finger on and say that these are so crucial to your journey when you start looking at UPSC journey, even in administrative services?
We need to remember that when you join administration as in government service, then there is tremendous responsibility and tremendous trust which is placed upon you. So our goal is obviously to serve the people. That's the goal, that's the objective, that's our pole star based on which we should work continuously. हमें इस देश की जनता की सेवा करने के लिए ये मौका दिया गया है, तो उसी दिशा में हम लोग को हमेशा कार्यरत रहना चाहिए। उसमें भी आती हैं, कठिनाइयाँ आती हैं, वो सब अपनी जगह हैं, लेकिन वी हैव टू मेक आवर वे टू सर्व दैट सिंगल गोल, service to the people of this country.
So you talked about accountability as a major element as far as public administration is concerned. Would you elaborate on that how crucial it be? Because you're talking about citizen-centric governance, that's what we are talking about. How does it really matter?
Now, you say when we join public service, government service, there is a responsibility given to you, and along with that responsibility, there are resources which you. The resources can be financial resources and all other kinds of resources. Whether you are using those resources, financial and other resources, meeting the end goal, service to people, in an appropriate manner or not, this is what accountability is all about. So accountability means public resources for public good in a manner where that those public services, public goods are delivered in time and with a very high quality. This is what is expected. And if you fail to do that, then obviously you are failing the test of accountability. But when it comes to the nuts and bolts part of accountability, there are then two sides to this coin of accountability. One side is accountability is a must. It is negotiable.
Yeah.
But the other part is that when you actually put it into practice, then sometimes overemphasis on accountability can become detrimental to decision-making process. It can be. It need not be, but it can be. And that's where, it typically happens that sometimes if those who are in government employment, because of this issue of accountability, if they start becoming fearful or apprehensive and start delaying decisions or not taking decisions, then obviously the larger objective of delivering public service will get affected. So we need to recognize that accountability is a must. But at the same time, this insistence on accountability should not delay the delivery of public service. It need not be, but sometimes it happens.
So we're talking about Vikasit Bharat and also the Karma Yogi, since you talked about seva and service to the nation as a prime responsibility of a person in administrative services. How would you really elaborate on the kind of journey one has to undertake now?
The main thing which I would again emphasize is that if you are doing the questions may still be, but then ask that the questions are being asked need not deter me or need not deter public service person from the job that he has to do. If it starts deterring you, if you become slow, if you become cautious, if you become status quoist, as it's called, then you are not justice to the salary which the government pays to you. So that is that should be the DNA of a public servant, a government servant, that you are accountable, questions will be asked, but the process of questions being asked should not push you in a manner where you will take no decisions. If you do that, you are not doing justice.
Sir, you talked about the importance of technology also. We're talking about the whole e-governance aspect, the digital infrastructure in governance systems. How would you really emphasize upon that as well?
This is a really remarkable initiative, and I would compliment the government, in the last decade, which has where this e-governance emphasis has actually been translated into an effective tool of public administration. The whole philosophy of minimum government, maximum government is able to be implemented through the system of e-government. So it is a remarkable thing. Having said that, it is important to know that we have reached, and provided this e-governance, we have taken it to a certain level. But now there is also a need to see what further improvement can be done. Merely because now more and more services are available, through e-government method, there is still a need where this can be further improved. So in my view, we should do that. Some kind of a social audit of the e-government tools are now required to bring in e-government 2.0. That's important.
So talking about, again, citizen centricity in governance, there are tools which are coming up. CP grams, for example, is a very important medium. Would you like to talk about some of these reforms that we are watching now?
Yes, as I said, CP grams is of course wonderful. The reforms which need to be handled is, once you provide something through e-governance tools to the citizen, then obviously there is a corresponding load on those who have to deliver. Now, whether it is the thanedar of a police station, or a tahsildar, or whoever, or a headmaster of a school, or the doctor in a government hospital, there is a greater expectation and greater workload on him. So unless we also make sure that those who have to deliver public services, public goods, they are also made competent and capable of delivering those services of high quality in time-bound manner, merely creation of e-governance tools will not help. So in my view, corresponding to governance initiative, there is a need for not just training of the personnel, but also providing them with sufficient financial resources and manpower resources.
And that's why, sir, this book, as it says, also theory, policy, and practice.
Yes.
So that chain, I think, has to be maintained.
It's a complete
on the
chain.
ground. What
Correct.
happens?
Yes. So that is very, very important. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I once again compliment IIPA for bringing out this book. As I said, IIPA's voice matters. And, once you start a discourse, then it is heard loud and clear by policymakers.
Sir, so some few tips for those who are preparing for UPSC. What really works? The mantra.
You see, as a former member of
Yes, sir.
UPSC, I am not supposed to give
Okay.
those tips
Okay.
like this. All I can say, work hard, prepare well, and thereafter, if you get selected, remember that huge trust has been reposed in you by the government and by the people. You should never fall in their expectation in that test. That is all that I will tell them.
Thank you so much for your time, sir, and thank you so much for all those very important insights that you've shared here with us at the IIPA studio. Best wishes to you, and thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching this very special discussion with Mr. R.N. Choubey ji. And हम उनका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया भी अदा करते हैं कि उन्होंने अपना समय भी दिया, और आप सब IIPA में हमें देखते भी रहिए और हमें अपना फीडबैक भी देते रहिए. तब तक के लिए नमस्कार.
Thank you.